Au départ, les communautés côtières.
Initially, there was a lot of interest from coastal communities, given that there was a lack of data on coastal ecosystems across Canada.
Puis en réponse à ça, le ministère a lancé le programme.
Then, in response to that, the department launched the Coastal Environmental Baseline Program to allow departments, especially partners, local partners from First Nations and Indigenous groups, scientific researchers, and conservation NGOs to participate in the data collection.
En conservation, de participer à la collecte des données. En fait, il y a 6 zones.
6 zones were chosen across Canada for all the oceans, Pacific, Arctic, and Atlantic. This will allow us to have an initial knowledge baseline that we didn't have before and that we will be able to compare to what happens in the future.
Avant ou qu'on va pouvoir comparer à ce qui s'en vient dans le futur.
The program enabled us to carry out a project that focused on the characterization of tidal marshes on our territory, along the north shore of the estuary. Within the framework of the characterization of the tidal marshes, there are 4 components to the study: flora, geomorphology, fish, and invertebrates. We use different tools and technology for each of them. Today we carried out the fish inventory. A fight net was used to try to capture a greater diversity of species. We identified each species that was caught. Afterward, we count them. We want to learn about abundance, how many species were captured. We measure the length of the first 30 specimens caught. This tells us a bit about the stage of growth of the fish that were caught. In terms of the geomorphological component, we use a drone which enabled us to fly over the entire marsh and take aerial pictures to help us when we analyze the data afterward. We also use GPS, which helps us find precision points for the location of our stations, and also identify the maximum limit of our tide to track it over time to see if it progresses or if there's erosion.
Our collaboration with the Department of Fisheries and Oceans was quite natural overall. Our organization has expertise in scientific diving, and our focus is on characterizing the coastal condition in the rocky intracoastal zone. Right now, we are preparing to deploy a transect. For each site, divers roll out tape over 30 meters at a depth of between 6 and 14 meters, and will count the macroinvertebrates they find in this transect. They will also take a picture to get an idea of the abundance of green sea urchins, for instance, on the rocky bottom. These standardized photos that will be taken will then be analyzed to get an idea of the biomass of the urchins and their size. Divers will also take notes on waterproof paper and collect data on the number of invertebrates, the species that they see elsewhere, etc. This data is also shared through Expro Nature educational programs. The public and school groups learn more about estuaries, and it's also an opportunity for us to share newly acquired knowledge to benefit a generation that will later be able to make the right decisions and potentially make changes.
The program's importance for communities like ours on the north shore of the estuary is that it helped us update knowledge and build a baseline. The knowledge is then used within municipalities in management and conservation measures, based on the priorities that were set.